Welcome to the Retreat Leaders Podcast, the show for visionary coaches, healers, wellness pros, and small business owners who aren't just here to host another feel-good getaway, but to build a profitable, impactful retreat business. I'm your host, Shannon Jamal, retreat strategist, business mentor, and owner of a 46-acre retreat center. I've hosted over 100 retreats around the world, and I've made every mistake so you don't have to. Each week, we'll dive into the mindset, marketing, money, business, and mechanics behind sold-out, profitable retreats. Plus, hear from expert guests who are walking the talk. Whether you're planning your first retreat or scaling your 100th, you're in the right place. Welcome to the show. Hey guys, welcome back to the Retreat Leaders Podcast. It's Shannon here, and I am so excited to talk to my guest today. This is someone else that I met while I was in France, and if only you could meet her in person, which she'll talk about how you could do that at the end. She has got like the brightest, most beautiful energy, like of any human practically that I know. So I'm so excited to have you on the show, Leslie. Welcome.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you so
Yay.
much. I am so excited to be here.
Yay. Yeah. So we've been wanting to schedule this for a while, and I've just been looking forward to having this conversation. Before we get started, Leslie, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what brought you to where you are today?
Hi, all right. Thanks, Shannon. Hi, everybody. My name is Leslie Jordan. I'm from South Carolina, as you probably can tell with this southern drawl. I started off as a travel agent, and then throughout that time, I realized that I wanted to do something on my own and be able to bring um, different types of retreats and things to different people, to different couples. And so that is where my passion and thing lies now. And so, as a curator, that's what I do. I bring luxury retreats to couples, to women who wants to have a transformation in their life, whether that is connection with your husband or your spouse or your significant other, or for women who just want to travel and meet other women who are like-minded and want to build relationships.
Yes, to all of that. And so we met, like I mentioned, we met in France. We met in Erin's, one of her retreats for retreat professionals. And that's how I was introduced to you. And the reason why I'm so excited about our topic today is because that's how we met, was sort
Yes.
of through what we would call your coach. And one of the things that I am really big on and just such a proponent of is having some sort of coach that is in your arena with you, that's helping you to build your business, to have a soundboard. It could be such a lonely space, to be honest with you, without that. And of course, we both agree that Erin is an incredible coach. So talk to me about that, like the process of having a coach to help you build your retreat business.
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, when I decided to go out on my own, I thought it was best that I reach out to a coach. So I initially had a coach because I loved her business model. But throughout that tenure with her, I realized that she was not the best coach for me because a coach, you should have someone who's actually going to offer you words of encouragement, who's going to give you the best advice on what your next steps are in order to build your business. So I am so fortunate and so happy that I was able to find Erin, who is the retreat leader of Luxury and Business Retreats, because she helped me tremendously in terms of trying to define what my business is, to define pricing, um, and just the type of retreats that I need to offer people as well. And so that has been very important, and it has guided me along the way into where I am now with hosting and founding my own business for Lavish Couples Retreats. And in addition to that, as well, I also met another coach through Erin. Her name is Dora Rankin. I met her as well, who is absolutely wonderful. And she taught me as well that, you need to build relationships with people. I had this big idea that you could have this beautiful website, and that was just going to gravitate people to wanting to purchase your services, and that is not at all true. And I have all of that. But working with Dora and working with Erin, I've learned the best way to price my retreats is also as well as build relationships with people, because that's what's going to last. I mean, people have to like you. They want to be able to spend time with you. You have to know how to be able to respond to people, be able to offer something that's actually going to bring value to their lives. And that is where I am now. I'm in this great space. I've created Lavish Couples Retreats, and so now I'm able to offer retreats to couples who are wanting to reconnect, who are wanting to get that intimacy back in their relationship, to empty nester couples, all different types of couples support throughout this retreat business.
Yes. Okay. So if you guys didn't hear like exactly what Leslie said, she's got two coaches, not just one, but two. That is phenomenal. I also met Dora while I was in France. She was on this podcast. If you haven't listened to her show, I will link it in the show notes. Absolutely, highly recommend listening to her show. She really talks about the difference between marketing and selling. And
Yes.
she's exactly teaching what you just talked about, which is, and unfortunately, a lot of retreat leaders do this, which is they put together a beautiful landing page. They've got gorgeous content, that everything's so pretty, so, inviting, and crickets. And so
Exactly.
she talks about, how you take that, any kind of activity that you're putting out there in marketing, how you take that and you turn it into relationships. And that's so important because let me tell you, when I first started, that process of just attracting might have worked somewhat because the market was not as saturated as it is today.
Oh my gosh.
Today, with the visibility that's out there, with the amount of people that are in the space, with the amount of noise that's going on, you have got to build relationships. And so I'm so glad that you have a coach that's teaching you how to do that because it also is a strategy. There's a process to it. It's not just like pretty words where you say, yeah, build a relationship. Like there's an actual strategy and a process to it. And so having a coach in your corner to help you do that, Leslie, is so huge.
Absolutely. And because they've helped me in so many tremendous ways. Because so now I'm in a great space and just learning, the right strategy and being able to talk to people because, because they're building a relationship with someone is what's actually going to help you sell and also can have repeat customers as well throughout your retreat business. Learning that strategy and that method from Dora, and then learning the pricing method and things from Aaron as well has really put me in a terrific spot where I am now.
Yeah, you've got double whammy because Erin is
Yes.
fantastic at pricing, logistics, legal. She's also fantastic at marketing and sales too, but it's nice to have also a separate person who like that is their expertise. And so having these people in your arena with you, Leslie, is so empowering because, again, I think there's a lot of people that listen to the show. A lot of you are waiting, like, oh, I'm going to launch my retreat when, or you're just thinking, I don't know even where to start, or you're like, I'm just going to throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks. And really, what
Yes.
it comes down to is having the right guidance, the right support, the right systems in place, including coaches, including the right programs that you might subscribe to, whatever it is that you're listening to and doing. Like, you have to have the right people telling you the right things. And part
Abs-
of that, Leslie, is because I'm seeing this a lot. There are a lot more coaches out there that they started hosting retreats during COVID, and all of a sudden now they're teaching people how to host retreats. And it's like,
yes.
okay, hold your roll. Yes, if you've held a few successful retreats, that does you have value, you have knowledge to share, you have all kinds of stuff. That's great, but you really want to work with people who have the tenure, the business acumen, that know what to do when shit goes wrong because it will, that just has the experience. Whether that's in years, number of retreats, a combination, but also business experience too, that
So,
they can apply to this whole model because this isn't just hosting retreats. It's a
abs-
retreat business and it should be treated as one. Now, that doesn't mean that it has to be your whole business. Yes, you could be doing coaching, you could be doing other programs, and this is a piece of your business, but it still is a business model. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely agree with you 100%, Shannon. And like you said, it's so important to make sure that you get the correct coach. And like I said in the beginning, I didn't have the correct coach, and actually, I was stagnant for a while because I was afraid to even put my retreat out there because I kept getting feedback. Well, the pricing is right, not right. Nobody's going to want to buy this, and
Oh,
so it put
wow.
fear in me. And so, that put me behind a little in getting my business out there. And then, like I said, I was so fortunate that I was able to meet Dora and to meet Erin, who actually, gave me that push and that positivity to move forward and the right guidance to push my business forward. So I'm so thankful for them. So all of you out there who are listening, you have to ignore the noise, because a lot of those coaches out there, they just talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk, and they don't know what they're talking about. So make sure that you are diligent, and that when you are seeking a coach, talk to them, find out how long they've been doing their business. Make sure that they understand the business. Like Shannon was saying, it doesn't have to be like the number of years, the number of retreats, but also look at their character. You will know when you get the right coach, and that's when I found Dora and Aaron. I was so thankful because I know that I had the right coaches in my corner.
You absolutely do. And I'm really glad that you brought that up. It is important that when you are hiring somebody to help you in your business, that you have a meeting with them and vet them out and ask the right questions. Don't just sign, in my opinion, you don't just sign up for something online without talking to them in some formal fashion or some sort of vetting out process. Like, where's some recommendations, where's some past clients that you could talk to or current clients that you can talk to. And also the thing is, like, talk to me about the retreat experience. So let's just
Yes.
say they've done a handful of retreats. Okay, just because you've done a handful of retreats, have you been profitable and successful in those retreats? Because over 90% of the people hosting retreats are not profitable. And so there's a handful of coaches out there that they've put together a couple of retreats. They've had a little bit of success, not necessarily a whole lot of profit, but in their mind, it's success because they filled the spots and whatever may be the case, and now they want to teach other people how to do it. I'm seeing a lot of that, Leslie. And so it's an unfortunate thing, but it is just part of the business. It's part of all the businesses out there. It's not just retreat industry,
Mhm.
it's all the industries where you've got people who had a tiny bit of what on the outside looks like success, but on the inside, you've got to know, like, do they really know the numbers? Do they really know the business model? Do they really know the pricing? Do they really know budgeting? Do they really know the legalities? Do they really know logistics? You know what I mean? Like, all of these
Absolutely.
things. And then also marketing and sales. And also, if you have a coach out there who is telling you that it is okay to break even or it is okay just to pay for your travel, that is not a business model.
It is
That
not.
is not a business model.
And
And
I say
so,
break away and run
yeah,
if you come across that coach, because
we
they
say the
mean you
same
no
thing.
good. Yes, it's a bunch of bull, is what it is. And then I also, too, think that it's important for you to attend a retreat. So I attended Erin's retreat in Champagne, France, back in May. And so that goes back to what you were saying, Shannon, about being profitable in your retreats. She teach you how to do that. She teach you about the
Mm-hmm.
logistics that you
Mm-hmm.
need to make sure that you have in place for your retreats. She teaches you about marketing about your
Yeah.
retreats. And it also gives you an opportunity to be an attendee at a retreat so that you can
Mm-hmm.
get to experience both sides of it as an attendee and as a retreat leader. And it just makes you even a bigger and better person in terms of growth for your business. So that way you can provide better retreats for your attendees.
Leslie, you nailed something really important. So, not only are we saying you should have a coach, and the right coach, by the way, so that you're in the right spaces, but you should be attending retreats. And what better retreat to attend than the one that your coach is hosting, first of all?
Exactly.
And see, like, all of the logistics. I mean, and I love, Erin kicked off her retreat saying this is my way. It doesn't have to be your way, but it gets your ideas going, right? And you can say
Yes.
these things I totally love, this thing wasn't my favorite, whatever may be the case. But I think that is such a good idea. I highly recommend that. And truth be told, if you're wanting to get into the retreat business and never attended a retreat, you don't have no business being in the retreat business. You've got to go attend retreats before you can start hosting, period, end of story. And then
Agree.
also, when you do start hosting retreats, you should continue to attend retreats. I attend a minimum of once
Yes.
a year, but usually it's at least twice a year that I am an attendee as well. You have
Hmm.
to, like you said, walk the talk. You need to be an attendee. You need to, do the same things that you're telling other people that they need and why they should attend retreats. You need to be doing the same thing for yourself. And so I'm so glad that you brought
Exactly.
that up.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. I mean, like you say, if you're going to walk the talk, then walk the walk as well. I'm so grateful that I was able to attend Aaron's retreat in France. And like you said, what better way to attend a retreat than to attend the one that your coach is already hosting? And
Mm.
then that's when you get the opportunity to meet amazing people, which is where I met you. So I'm so grateful that I met you and some other amazing ladies, and that we still talk to this day.
Yeah, almost, or at
At the
least every
retreat. Yeah.
week.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And look forward to meeting with you ladies again in the future at another retreat or any other way that we can get together. So there are benefits to attending the retreat other than just learning about the logistics and the pricing and the marketing about it. You get to meet beautiful women that can have lasting friendships.
I
It's
agree. Yeah,
amazing.
I think a chunk of the folks that were in France are going to be here at the ranch in February. And then Allison was even talking about doing something at her lake house so that we can all get together. But you pointed out something really
Yes.
great. Like in your coaching community, you have a community. You know what I mean? Like there's a
Yes.
community of us. And if you are like, maybe you have an issue, you drop it in the Voxer and we're all pitching in. And like that is invaluable. And that's part
It
of
is.
having the right coach is then having these resources to lean on, to bounce ideas off of, share struggles with, those types of things. And that's above and beyond the coaching, right? Like that's bonus,
Oh,
that's icing.
yes.
And I just, those types of things are invaluable and super important. It's one of the reasons why I do workshops as well, and I bring retreat leaders together is because that energy, that collective energy, and then that shared space creates these communities, these collaborations, these things that come together. Like I'm hiring a photographer for my London workshop, which will already have happened by the time this podcast is released, but that I met
Okay.
through France, like these are collaborations
Yes.
that's happening. It's shared energy. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm really glad that we're talking about the importance of having a coach, but having the right coach or coaches.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%, Shannon. And like you say, just the networking alone and just like having the Voxer and being able to put ideas out there or ask questions if you get a little stuck. I mean, you can get advice from the fellow attendees and your friends now who can
Yeah.
offer some advice and support. So that is priceless and has been invaluable. And like you say, then you get to work with some of them again. Like I've worked with Alessia, I've worked with Matt again. I've hired him as my coordinator as well
Woohoo.
for for my LGBTQ plus retreats. And so things are just flourishing and going very well. I'm super excited and happy. So, like I said, just attending retreats and attendee is just going to bring you so much value. And just being able to unwind and enjoy yourself and just get to be around beautiful people.
I
I love
agree.
it.
Leslie, tell us about your retreat that's coming up, or maybe you have more than one, but tell us about them.
Yes, so I'm the founder of Lavish Couples Retreats, and so I have two subsidiaries up under that. I have one for the LGBTQ plus community, and I also have one for heterosexual couples as well. So I have one for the LGBTQ community that's coming up on October the 18th in New York City, and then I have one coming up in February in Charlotte, North Carolina for heterosexual couples. And then, but I'm also opening retreats for all couples. So that could be couples who are recently divorced or who are going through a breakup. I'm going to be having some for like interracial couples, for African American couples, for faith-based retreats for couples who are seeking to get closer to God in their relationship. For empty nester couples, which I'm an empty nester now myself recently, so just going through that adjustment, trying to get that connection and stuff back with my husband now that the kids are out of the house. So, all different types of retreats that I'm going to be hosting. I believe that love is universal. It doesn't matter what season you are in your relationship, it doesn't matter who you love, love is love. And so, there's one common theme that's going to be throughout Lavish Couples Retreats, and that's reconnection, that's intimacy, and that's love. That's going to be throughout the theme of all of my retreats. So, and I want to be able
I
to help
love
all
it.
couples no matter where they are in their season.
Yes, Leslie. And I will have it in the show notes, but do you want to shout out how people can find out about your retreats? Like, where do they need to go?
Yes, you can find me online at lavishcouplesretreats.com. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Lavish Couples Retreats and Lavish Pride.
Yay! Well, Leslie, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your expertise and your experience and your light and joy. And I absolutely look forward to seeing you again in person soon.
You too, Shannon. Thank you so much. It's been a joy talking with you today. And thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Retreat Leaders Podcast. If you love this episode, please make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your retreat besties. Want more support? Grab free resources at theretreatleadersplaybook.com. Until next time, lead boldly, serve deeply, and retreat profitably.